in the nature of a substitute to H.R. 4625 at the desk.
The clerk will designate the amendment to the amendment in the nature of a substitute.
Amendment to the amendment in the nature of a
The text was
substitute.
circulated in advance pursuant to committee rules. Mr. Bilirakis, you recognize for 5 minutes in support of your amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will speak to my amendment in a moment, but first I want to express my support for the underlying bill and the ANS. This ANS is the byproduct of several hearings and bipartisan legislation that I've worked on with Chairman Levin to improve oversight of the GI Bill and protect student veterans in case of school closures. I'm proud that the ANS includes almost all of the provisions for my bill, H.R. 4085, the Student Veteran Empowerment Act. Again, I want to thank the Chairman, Chairman Levin, Chairman Takano, and of course the Ranking Member, Dr. Rowe. My bill is designed to limit overpayment of GI Bill funds to students and schools, improve oversight of GI Bill programs by VA and state approving agencies, and most importantly, extend the restoration of entitlement for student veterans impacted by school closure to all students. The restoration of entitlement section extends benefits we first provided to a limited number of students in the Forever GI Bill and is critical to ensure that students' entitlement is not lost or wasted when a school closes or is disapproved before completion of the program. I want to thank veteran service organizations for their input and advice while drafting my bill, especially the Veterans Education Success, Student Veterans of America, and the Veterans of Foreign Wars. Mr. Chairman, while I'm pleased that we are considering this ANS today, I'm concerned that one important piece to prevent overpayments has been left out. My original bill included a provision that would require a student veteran to verify monthly their enrollment at a GI Bill program. This certification would be done online and would simply require the student veterans to verify that VA's information on the number of classes they are taking is accurate. My amendment to the ANS simply adds this requirement back into the text and would require that if a student has not verified their attendance for 2 consecutive months, again, for 2 consecutive months, then they would not receive a living allowance payment until this certification is made. This provision was originally crafted from a recommendation by GAO in their 2015 report on reducing GI Bill overpayments. GAO recommended that to prevent overpayment from enrollment delays, VA should, and I quote, implement a cost-effective way to allow post-9/11 GI Bill beneficiaries to verify their enrollment status each month and require monthly reporting. This verification would allow the student to be the second check to ensure that the school or VA have not made an error in the number of classes they're taking. This would also allow the student to quickly know and plan for the amount they are going to receive each month, which allows them to plan their own monthly expenses based on this verification. I understand some may be concerned about the verification overburdening students. I acknowledge that under my amendment, students will have to take a few minutes once a month to verify their enrollment. However, I believe this is a small price to pay to avoid the potential for thousands of dollars in preventable overpayments that could take students months, the students months to pay back, and we don't want that. Ultimately, this provision is for the protection of the student veteran. Mr. Chairman, veterans groups agree, as I have received unofficial support for this policy from several veterans groups. VA also provided supportive views of monthly verification for the post-9/11 GI Bill benefits, and we had adopted those suggestions by delaying the effective date and making minor tweaks to the original language. Monthly verification of enrollment is already required for students using the Montgomery GI Bill and has been for years, so this is not a new or burdensome concept for VA. As I said earlier, I support the underlying bill and the ANS, and simply ask that members support my perfecting amendment to ensure that we do all that we can to prevent costly overpayments from occurring. And I really appreciate the cooperation, the bipartisan support, and I really enjoy working with the subcommittee chairman, and we're doing good work for our heroes. So with that, I'll yield back, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bilirakis, for your amendment. Is